NFL record for the worst completion percentage. This is a game you need to win. This is a divisional matchup against a team you should beat. This is how you stack up wins. Hello and welcome back to i75Live, episode 33.
Yep.
We hope everyone enjoyed the first two rounds of March Madness, as there's some I wouldn't say maybe a little bit of controversy of going around of, hey, there's not too many teams, the Cinderella teams,
NIL, transfer portal,
so we're going to get into all that stuff we've been saying for months now with college football.
Yeah, pretty much since we started the show, I feel like.
We are now seeing the trickle-down effect of all these other sports. Atlanta finally wins a championship.
Woo-hoo!
Not in
Atlanta.
What I think Atlanta fans want to win a championship.
I would argue that probably 90% of Atlanta fans have no idea that this even happened.
I said the same thing.
It's a made-up sport. We made a sport.
We won it.
We won the championship.
We won a virtual reality golf championship.
Yes, let's go.
But for the golf fans out there,
Wait a minute though. But who owns the team?
Oh yes. Let's
Arthur.
It's Arthur Blank owns a part of the team.
He's like ancient. He's about to die. He's
Which
80 plus years
Which
old.
makes it even funnier that everything that they've lost, and this is what you end up winning. And then, of course, as always, MLB. We're rocking our MLB stuff today.
Oh yeah.
Opening day is tomorrow, Thursday. We're recording this on Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday, opening day. The Braves, we start out 4 o'clock against the Padres. I think the Padres got a good squad. I think the Braves got a good squad. It's going to be two really good teams. I don't really know who the White Sox play. I don't think it matters who they play.
Dylan doesn't even know.
Hold on. What's the over-under total of wins for them this year?
It's actually a new record, and it's lower than their record. No. It's one more win than they had last year. So they were 41. They were 41 and 121 last year. Their line for over-under win total this year is 42.
Might be a good bet.
That might be a good bet. There's no way.
I don't think it is. I really don't. They've had 6 pitchers have Tommy John surgery already since spring training started. So
it might be.
That's my team.
But yes, opening day. There's a lot of great. Opening day is always great. I think because you see every team's best pitcher.
Yep.
Pitching on the same day.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part, everyone's number one star, Cy Young. They're all pitching today, so that's going to be another maybe bet the unders on most of these games because these pitchers are going to be.
Though, guys, like Dawson just picked me up at the airport. Just flew in from New York this morning, and the guys on the radio up there, the W fan, they're picking the Braves to win the series. Like I couldn't believe it.
On paper,
they're
I'm
high
telling
on the
you,
Yankees. They are down on the Mets.
Yeah, so I'm really surprised. Like probably the only surprise is that the Dodgers aren't their pick. Because I feel like it's a general consensus.
I think it's a little bit though.
They don't want to.
They don't want to pick them.
Yeah. Probably because they're probably Yankees fans.
Well, that and maybe this team is in a way cheating with how they're spending money and all this stuff.
I mean, I don't know. On the other side of things, you should be rooting for them so that Rob Manfred takes a look and be like, "Oh shit! This needs to change. This team's gonna win championship after championship."
I agree.
And it might get to a point where 29 other teams just stop trying.
I don't even think I heard him mention the Dodgers.
What's the point?
Let's put it. They're like acting like they don't exist.
Well, yeah, they're probably
well, if there's anything we could say about New York sports fans, they're a bunch
very
of
petty.
Very petty.
Yeah. They're up there with New York or Philly and Boston fans, in my opinion. Sorry, Dawson.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But before we, obviously we've been doing this little promotion. Me and Dawson work extremely hard on the show. Chris does too, actually. So go ahead and leave a like on the video. Drop some comments because we will be talking about a lot of stuff today. This is a lot of variety. I feel like the last few weeks have been a lot of NFL with free agency starting and stuff like that. But yeah, golf, March Madness, MLB, and then obviously still some football. But yeah, show some love down below.
A lot of different opinionated stories and topics today. To start off, though, March Madness, no surprise. First couple rounds were great.
They were very good.
I remember looking at Chris and looking at some of the other people, and I said, it's surprising, but it's not the way college sports is. The teams that are supposed to be winning are winning.
Yep.
There doesn't seem like there's been a ton of upsets, a ton of buzzer beater, close games.
Yeah, there's really only been one.
really only been one compared to what it's like. I mean, that's why everyone loves March Madness, because of the Cinderella, because of the close games.
Yeah.
And
because everybody has a shot in March Madness for the most part. And
it didn't feel like that. And I think people in the main media now are starting to come out and say it. We've been very advocate towards football.
Like 8 months at this point.
Very vocal towards it.
Yes.
But guys like JJ Watt, like ESPN, they are now saying, has NIL ruined the Cinderella story? And I think, stupid to not think it has.
This is, imagine this headline. So Chris said this genius little piece before we got started today. Go ahead and turn that camera to me. You ready? So Disney, obviously, this past weekend decided to murder Snow White. NIL has gone ahead and murdered Cinderella. It's, princesses are dropping off left and right.
There's no more fairy tales.
There's no more fairy tales in sports. It's, especially college was like the last place for it, because I feel like, you can buy championships pretty much anywhere, and now it's made its way into college. It's like a cancer.
Well, when you have guys like Dave Portnoy, being a Michigan fan, literally saying, hey,
I'm going to go and get a quarterback.
Whoever wants to come play for Michigan, I'll pay you $10 million. And the NCAA can't do a damn thing about it.
Nope.
That can't happen. No. So, and we also saw it, my second example, we saw it with 14 SEC teams going to the tournament this year.
Well, not only that, there's only 4 conferences total represented in the Sweet 16 this year. 3 fewer than any other year since the first round was introduced, all the way back in 1975.
Let me guess, those conferences are conferences that can just throw money like it's paper towel.
SEC, Big 12, Big 10, ACC. Those are the only 4, and the ACC only has Duke. That's it.
Yeah.
SEC, there's still 7 SEC teams.
And this is, it was only, I bring up the SEC and having 14 teams, it was only a matter of time before these big SEC schools were able to just pay money to have the best players come and play for them, because Georgia was never a basketball school.
Nope.
Missouri was never a basketball school.
This was Georgia's first time in the tournament in almost 10 years.
So if you look at this and you go, no, it has nothing to do with it,
it
you're
absolutely
stupid.
Does.
For the third example, you wrote this down, now over 1,000+ only male basketball players have entered the transfer portal since Monday. It is Wednesday.
It's been 2 days.
We are recording this on Wednesday. Since Monday, over 1,000 male basketball players have entered the transfer portal.
How many players are on a basketball team? It's not like a football team.
Maybe 15 to 20
max.
25 max, maybe. When you count up the scholarships and then you count up some of the walk-ons.
Even crazier. So back in 2023, it's been 175 players plus and entered the transfer portal on day 1. And then in 2024, it was 291 players on opening day. And that was a record because, the year before was also a record. And then jump to 2025 when I feel like NIL, the transfer portal, has finally settled. On day 1, there was 700. Yeah. 700 basketball players. Yeah, that's basketball. That's not football.
Well, and the other part to me that is like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, because I'm fine with the transfer portal. I get it. You go to a school, it's a bad situation, a bad experience. You still have that to go to a different team and to experience a different
spotlight.
I am all for that. What I'm not, where it gets weird though is, for one, why does this open when we're still playing games? Like this would be like free agency starting in the NFL. When wild card weekend.
Yeah, right after wild card weekend.
Like you have teams and players still playing, and then so that is weird in one. And we saw the same thing in football. We're seeing the same thing in basketball now. Yep. It's just, to me, it's in JJ Watt, I think, because I sent this tweet to you, he said it best, to where this is no longer student athlete. No. So let's quit writing this narrative.
Academics is probably like 3rd or 4th on the list.
And he said it perfectly. When you have, softball teams traveling from across the country on a Wednesday to go play a series, when you have
classes.
Yeah, it's not about school.
It's not about school anymore. It is about the sports, but they're still trying to, and even people out there, no, they're kids. They're not kids.
You know what? So I honestly think, because I don't think the NCAA will ever fix this correctly, I guarantee you that college sports is heading for relegation, where the SEC is in a completely different league from stuff like the Pac-12.
Well,
they literally don't play each other.
That's what Vanny has kind of said the past couple years.
I bet it's coming.
Soon it's going to be the Big Ten, it's going to be the SEC, it's going to be the ACC, and that's it.
Those three, and then
they're going to create a super conference.
Yep. That's what it's headed for. I mean,
but the sad part is they have allowed this.
Yep.
They opened up the can of worms.
Corporate greed.
They opened up everything that had to do with this. And now I think they did it in good faith because they looked at it as in, hey, our players deserve to capitalize on, how good they are or whatever, if their brands or if someone wants to buy their shirts or jersey. I get all that side of it.
Or they found a way to fill their pockets some more.
This
has now become such a slippery slope to where I have no idea. We're one
almost
knows.
at the bottom of the slope too.
Well, it's going to be the D League. This is professional sports.
It's semi-pro sports.
It is. And on top of that, so talking more about how Cinderella is dead, 10 seed Arkansas is the lowest ranked team left.
But even
and then
Arkansas,
after that,
they're an SEC team.
Well, yeah, SEC team, legendary coach, and they have I'm pretty sure every single starter is a 5-star. And so, yeah, they're a 10 seed, but that's because they started off the season slow as shit. Yeah. They've been playing great basketball for like the last 2 months.
Yeah, there's no McNeese won the first game, but
Colorado State was close. I mean, we just talked about buzzer beater. Maryland.
That's been the only really close one.
But
did you see that? Was that a travel? I mean, come on.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
So right after your dribble, you get a gather step, which is considered your extra step to gather
Even in college,
yourself.
you get that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then 2 steps after that. He took 3 steps total, so that's not a travel. Okay. But getting past 10 seed Arkansas, the lowest seeds after that are 2 6 seeds, and then it's 5 4 3 2s and 1s.
Yeah.
There's no Cinderellas. No one's paying attention to one singular team because they're a better story than anyone. Everyone's probably just paying attention to. I wonder if Duke's gonna win the tournament again. Or I wonder if Auburn will make it. Oh, Florida!
Guys, this is a $1 billion tournament
seeds.
too for the NCAA, and if they don't have Cinderellas, it is going to affect the future.
Oh, people will stop caring.
Well, I guess that's a good question. Do you think it's better that their tournament, their Sweet 16, is filled with a bunch of hugely branded schools? Or do you think it's hurting them because there's not a couple schools trickled in there that are like,
I feel like you need both. I feel like you need both. I feel like you need the brands to carry you, like the big brands, like Duke will always be there and stuff like that. But then you also need like Colorado State. I would have picked 10 times out of 10 over Maryland.
I picked them over Maryland.
Well, no, I'm just saying like as the better story in general as someone as like a team that I would want to see. I would have much rather wanted to see a team like Colorado State make it to the Sweet 16.
Well,
or like when Loyola Chicago or any team like that.
What game were you and me watching, Chris, where it was like it was some upset and we were like, "Oh, we really hope this happens because this would be, I can't remember who it was, but it's like everyone loves the underdog. Everyone loves the Cinderella. Yep. Everyone loves to see David slay Goliath, and it just it
doesn't happen.
I can argue it happened one time this whole tournament.
There's multiple reasons too, because when you buy your seats, you buy a block of tickets, and so you get to go watch,
all 3 of the games or 4 of the
so
games
you get
that
to
are
watch
there.
them all.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there waiting for your team, and you're rooting for these other teams. You're always rooting for the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to see that lower seed knock off the upper seed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it just didn't happen very much.
It's just not happening. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Let's just go down the line. I have the games listed, all the Sweet 16 matchups, all 8. There are some very good games. And I went into depth, like some of the stories behind these teams. I mean, first one, Auburn, Michigan is probably one of the more boring matchups, but it's going to be a gritty game. It's going down to the wire. Michigan is a great team. So is Auburn. I mean, they've been arguably the best team all year, and they are the top seeded team in the tournament. But I don't really know who I would pick for this one. I mean,
it's just to me,
I don't think it matters. Honestly.
I mean, at this point, let's just have some good games.
Yeah.
And I really could care less what seed you are. I could care less what conference you came from. I don't care. Let's see some close, good basketball games.
At this point, the seeds don't even matter. When you have all top 5, they're all the same.
They're on the same level of each other, pretty much every single team. But the next one, so I guess I will make this point that I'm probably more so, because there's no Cinderellas, I'm rooting for the legendary coaches a little bit. So, like, I would love to see this next matchup, Michigan State and Ole Miss. I would love to see Tom Izzo make it to the Natty. Because I think he hasn't won since 2000. He hasn't been back since.
He's been coaching forever.
A long time. He's been the coach in Michigan State since, like, 95 or something like that. And so, yes, that would be great. And then Ole Miss apparently has, I think, 6 or 7 seniors, maybe more. And 6 players are averaging over 10 points, which is crazy. In college basketball, that's crazy. But Michigan State has one of the best defenses. So it's a grudge match. I definitely like that one. And then probably the one that I'm looking forward to the most for a couple different reasons, but Duke versus Arizona. So I don't know if you know this, but on Arizona, are you familiar with Caleb Love? You know that name? He was on North Carolina's team in 2022 that ended Coach K's career. So Caleb Love was their point guard. I think he's like a super senior or something at Arizona. But North Carolina beat Duke in their last home game of the season, and then they beat them in the Final Four later that year. And Caleb Love was that main player. He played like 40 minutes, put up 28 points, and now he's got a chance to do it again against arguably the best player in the country. So I will be glued to the screen for this. I love it. But Cooper Flagg is...
Yeah, Cooper Flagg.
Selfishly, I want him on the Bulls. He's really bad.
Good.
Please come to Chicago. I'm dying to have you there.
Yeah, he's very good.
But I mean, more SEC stuff though. Alabama. I don't know if you've been watching them at all.
I have. They could shoot the ball very well.
But this game,
BYU has been able to, because I had them losing in the first round, but they've come out and shot the ball very well.
That's what they've been doing all year. Yeah. But I saw this. So neither team has a good defense, and Alabama has, I think, the highest points per game in the country, over 90. Which college basketball, that's a lot. Yeah. They only play 40 minutes in college basketball, and then BYU is right up there. They've got 81.2.
Take the over.
Take the over. It's going to be a 3-point shootout, and no defense is being played. This is going to be back and forth. They're going to be tired as hell, like sprinting up and down the court nonstop. And then this next one, I don't really have much to say about it. Houston versus Purdue. Another one that's going to be kind of a grudge match, like situation where something's got to give.
Two historically pretty good basketball schools.
Oh, yeah. Well, Purdue won last year, right?
No.
Last year? No. You're right.
UConn was on a 2-peat.
They lost. I'm blanking, but I think they lost to UConn in the final, right? I think they were
because they had Edie. They were up there.
They were at least in the Final Four. I know that. So, yes, and Houston, the best defensive team in the country. Yeah. Which, I mean, Houston has been there. I keep hearing them. I hear them year after year, but they never make it. Like, they never actually make it. I'm pretty sure the furthest they've gone is like the Elite Eight, maybe the Final Four one year. So that'd be cool, just to have a new team that, like, finally breaks past that, I guess, proverbial wall.
Yeah, I think Sweet 16 is basically the SEC tournament all over again.
This next one.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
I think this one is going to be my favorite game of the weekend or of the week because
Vanny.
Because of Vanny, but because I went to school in Kentucky, so I saw the just pure hatred that Tennessee fans have for Kentucky and Kentucky fans have for Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I know
it's like the Michigan or Ohio State rivalry.
If Tennessee beats Kentucky, Vanny might jump off a cliff.
Well, so here's the interesting part about this. So you can probably attest to this. Have you ever when you were playing lacrosse, did you ever sweep a team and then lose to them in the playoffs?
Oh yeah.
Because how hard is it to beat a team three times in a row or sweep a team?
Like me, I would look at it and maybe I would always, if I knew I was playing a team in like further down in the playoffs, I would not want to beat them. Like, of course, I would try to beat them in the regular season, but I would know in the back of my head, crap, if we beat those guys in the regular season, we're going to have to play them again when it really matters. Kind of like in football, to where we see the Bills play the Chiefs. The Bills historically always beat them in the regular season, and then in the playoffs they would lose them when people would remember.
Yep.
So it's the same thing to where it's like, yes, it's very, very hard to beat a good team twice, 3 times.
Well, here's the interesting thing about that. Kentucky is 2-0 against Tennessee this year.
Yeah, it's not the odds.
And they play them for the third time on, what do they play, Thursday or Friday? I mean, that's when the Sweet 16 is, so it's one of those days.
The odds aren't looking too good.
Yeah, very, very hard, near impossible to beat a team 3 times in the same year.
Our thoughts go out to you.
Yeah, it's happened a few times. Like, it's happened in football, I remember, in recent past.
I hope for Vanny's sake that Kentucky does get
Oh, man.
I want to see Tennessee lose,
Tennessee's a very good bet.
So,
I mean, they've been good for years.
So I also think as a fan, as just, you got no dog in the fight. If it works out, Kentucky would play, who is it? Oh, wait, who? They would play Arkansas in the national championship. And you know how funny that would? That's my
wish list?
My wish list for this championship would be Kentucky versus
I'm looking
Arkansas.
at it right
because
now.
of the coaches,
right?
Because of the coaches. Because the coach for Kentucky, he went to Arkansas.
Did they fire him though after they lost?
They let him go. They, I think, wanted him to walk away because he had a huge buyout too. Because that's all when it happened, I was still living with Vanny. Mm-hmm. And it was a huge, huge buyout, and they finally just did it and, wanted to reset. But, yes, Arkansas would play Kentucky. If they were to play each other in this tournament, it would be in the national championship.
That would be awesome.
That's my, dream national championship this year.
That would be pretty great.
Just for the storyline.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny.
This next team, Florida. So, I mean, Maryland, obviously coming off that buzzer beater, probably... might have been the best game of the tournament so far. Colorado State and Maryland. That shit was awesome to watch. I loved it. And then buzzer beater. I mean, anytime a buzzer beater happens, it's great. But Florida, sorry, Maryland. Florida might beat the brakes off of
Florida's
them.
really
I think
good.
they're probably the best team in the tournament. They've got, 2 or 3 7-footers in their backcourt or front court. And then their backcourt is, I think, 2 seniors. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, but they're studs either way. And yeah, Florida, I know a lot of people have them picked, to at least play Duke in the final.
To win.
Yeah, you haven't picked to win. I have them losing to Auburn in the Final Four, but I really just kind of guessed. I flipped a coin on that one.
Did you see the women's game, though, that each team scored over 100 points?
Yeah.
I did not.
So with the women's, it's gotten a little bit better, but in recent years, it's really only been 4 or 5 teams that even have a shot at winning. And that's UConn, South Carolina, LSU, Baylor.
USC has been
USC is always up there. And with them, it's really just kind of throwing. Outside of them, it's really just kind of throwing.
If you thought the men's tournament was
women's
very lackluster with the women's is...
There was a couple games that were 100 to 30.
Yeah,
it's just not good. It's not fun to watch because the game's over after the first quarter.
Yeah.
That's another thing I don't get. Women's college basketball plays 4 quarters, and men's basketball plays 2 halves.
But it's the same time.
It's the same time.
I don't get
just yeah, I don't know the logistics behind
That's weird. That's just weird. Why is it different? But anyways, the last game we just talked about Arkansas.
Yeah.
They've 2 upsets. They beat Kansas, who was the AP number 1 ranked team at the start of the year. And then they beat St. John's, who was a 2 seed, 3 seed. And then legendary coach, a lot of people picked them to go pretty damn far in the tournament, and Arkansas said, fuck that. But yeah, Texas Tech, I'd look this up, probably has the best player in the whole tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the whole tournament because Cooper Flagg, but he's definitely top 5. JT Toppin, dog. Absolute dog. And I think when do these games start? I know it's Thursday, but in the afternoon, I want to say they're all night games.
I probably would say, they're probably...
There's some late ones. I saw there's ones starting at 10.
I know one of I think whoever's in the Auburn side of things, they're playing in Atlanta because I've been hearing that been talked about on some of the Atlanta sports radios.
Makes sense. I mean, some of the games are on TNT, so.
But yeah, no, I think, like you said, at this point, I don't think the seeds matter. I just hope for some good games, for some close games. The Alabama-BYU game would be really fun if it was 90-90 going into the last couple minutes.
I really think it will. Either that or it's a brick fest.
Yeah.
Each team's shooting threes, no one's making them.
And then the
ends
Tennessee
70-60.
The Tennessee-Kentucky game, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
They hate each other. They hate each other when it comes to Tennessee fans versus Kentucky fans.
Oh man, we'll ask Vanny to give us a live reaction to whether, regardless on if they win or lose. Vanny, I know you'll be watching the episode. go ahead and send us a video immediately after the game. If it's possible to catch like the zeros hitting the buzzer, and then whether Tennessee wins or loses.
I'm telling you, that dude has some funny...
If they beat Kentucky, oh man.
It's going to be bad.
I'm ready for the rant.
It is going to be bad. It is going to be bad. Quick sec, though, like we mentioned at the beginning, don't forget, drop a like, drop a comment on some of these games.
Yes.
We work pretty hard. Subscribe. You can watch the full length on Spotify, YouTube, and then some of our shorter clips. Or if you want to DM us, do whatever on our social media.
We respond to messages. We've got a couple of people that have, conversations with us frequently throughout the week. But the most important part is, we're going to post regardless of how many views or likes we get, so you might as well support us. It makes us feel good.
Or not.
Or not.
Doesn't matter.
But no, opening day.
Opening
tomorrow.
day, yes. It's, I know it's a long, long season, but opening day is, I think, a very, very special day in sports.
Yes.
As just, what baseball means to a lot of people, and, it being, what do they call it? They call it the most historical game in the country.
What, America's pastime?
America's pastime, yes.
Yeah.
So baseball is awesome, but like we kind of mentioned, there are a lot of great pitchers pitching opening day. Some great storylines.
Yes. I know there's not all teams. 28 of the 30 teams are in action tomorrow. So we're covering. I think I wrote down like 6 of them.
Yeah,
6
some
of the best
ones.
matchups.
Yeah.
Or 5 of them. But starting off, Brewers, Yankees. So we talked about it a few weeks ago. Garrett Cole's out for the year.
Yeah.
His career might be over.
Yeah.
I think because it takes like 2 full years, and he's 35 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So unless he just turns into Justin Verlander and becomes who he was in his prime after this would be his second Tommy John surgery as well, not his first. So it's extremely risky already. But with that, Carlos Rodon, who's another former White Sox lefty, is getting the start, and they're playing the Brewers. And it's kind of a new look Yankees lineup a little bit. They don't have Juan Soto.
Yeah.
They added some players.
Yeah, I think the Yankees are going to be great.
They normally are.
They don't have as much competition though as the American League.
That's
They just
true.
don't.
Well, the Orioles are in their division.
The
Orioles are very young, and they'll only get better this year.
Yeah, but they don't have the Dodgers, the Phillies,
No.
the Mets,
The
the
Braves.
Braves.
Yeah,
No,
I agree.
The Orioles is like, I'm struggling to think of a team that's really going to challenge the Yankees outside of Baltimore. That's it. If Seattle can figure out how to hit the ball, maybe.
Yeah. But yes, there are a lot.
Max Fried.
Bellinger's on the Yankees now. Max Fried is on the Yankees now.
Paul
Goldschmidt is on the Yankees now.
And Devin Williams, who's former
that
Brewer.
Kid from Alatuna's on the Yankees.
Yeah, the kid from
Clark
Alatoona,
Schmidt.
Clark Schmidt. He's a starter, so he's probably. He won't play opening day, but he's in the rotation.
Yeah, they have like a 5-6 man rotation.
Yeah, the Yankees are gonna be. I think they're still gonna be good. I know people are freaking out about them losing Juan Soto.
It's not gonna matter.
Garrett Cole, I think, will be a bigger hit.
That is.
God, this might be a bigger hit than the Juan Soto not playing or not being on their team anymore.
It depends. Well, because Cole is one of the best pitchers in baseball when he's healthy. Juan Soto is one of the best hitters in baseball.
I guess,
so it really is 2 different positions. They probably affect the game around the same level, but it's very different.
Yeah.
And moving on, this was, one of our sleeper teams when we talked about,
Red Sox.
the Red Sox. And another former White Sox Cy Young candidate. We traded him this offseason. Garrett Crochet is going to look incredible. I miss him. I miss him so deeply.
Have there been any confirmation on where Alex Bregman is playing? Because I know that was a huge.
What position?
Yeah, like that was a huge. Devers was like, I'm not.
Because he's
I'm
third
playing
baseman.
in the field. Has there been confirmation of who's playing where yet?
I haven't seen it.
Or
we'll see tomorrow.
How's that? How that has played out, kind of.
I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure either, because I know it was huge when it first happened, and then I haven't heard anything in a couple weeks.
I thought about that because they're both true first basemen. I don't.
Third baseman.
Yeah.
And I know Devers was like, I'm not. No, I play in the field. I don't care.
They're both Gold Glovers as well. Yeah. Like this is,
and they both are pretty good at hitting the ball when it comes to. So that's gonna be interesting how that shakes out.
Yeah, both of those guys you want in your lineup like the whole time, and so. Yeah, and the Rangers are kind of an anomaly because they won the World Series 2 years ago, and last year they were
terrible. Last year,
DeGrom is back, kind of ramping up, but Adolis Garcia had a great year last year. Regardless on what the Rangers did,
they also had some injuries. They had
did.
a ton of injuries.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Rangers
DeGrom's
are another one where it's just
They just fell off a cliff.
You have no idea. Won the World Series, and then but that's kind of how
Disappeared.
baseball works.
It is. I mean,
ways.
baseball, there's so many players on a roster. There's so many people in your farm system, so many trades every year. The team never looks the same.
No.
Never.
No.
No. But next one, we just talked about it. Juan Soto is making his debut. I'm excited to see this, honestly. I know you're probably kind of like being a Braves fan and all, a little bit on the fence.
I love Juan Soto. I really do.
Suck that you gotta play him like
I don't
11
think
times
it
a
does
year now.
suck. I still think the Mets suck as a whole team.
They're gonna be good.
The
They're gonna be
Mets
really
are
good.
going
The
to be
Mets
good
are
in a few
gonna
more
met.
years.
The Mets are
They're not
always
gonna be
gonna
good
met.
this year.
Okay, I say it every year. The
And
Mets
it's
will be
true
the
every
Mets.
year.
They're gonna choke,
They got
regardless
close
if they
last
have a
year.
lead, regardless if
Yeah.
they have anything. The Phillies or us, we're always gonna catch up.
Well,
to
last
them.
year it was the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The Dodgers were the team that put them away, and
They're-
arguably, I mean, realistically, this whole conversation might be completely useless
Oh, of
in
course.
6 months because the Dodgers are going to be like 30 wins above everyone.
That's the awesome part about sports. But yeah, no, Juan Soto. I like Juan Soto. I like, he's one of the bright stars of MLB. So
And he was making his debut against the team that he trashed in 2019. Get it? Trash can. Get it? Get
the
it?
Cheestros.
Yeah, the
Astros.
Cheatstros,
Cheaters.
Astros. It's, Juan Soto, I'll be rooting for you on that. Tomorrow. I'll be rooting for you tomorrow. Hopefully he goes yard a couple times.
He went yard his first at bat in spring training for him, so you never know. You never know. Next one though, the one I'm excited for, Braves Padres. Cy Young, Chris Sale is coming to the mound to start. Perfect.
I'm surprised. So is Strider the second man up? Then?
I don't think Strider is.
Or is he not healthy?
He's not. No, I don't think because he started 2 games, played really good, but I don't think they're throwing him in the rotation immediately. I think they're going to give him a little bit of time.
Okay.
But no, I think the Padres are a really good young team. You've got Tatis. I mean, you've got
Profar is on the Braves now.
Profar is on the Braves
Profar.
now. They have
Machado.
Yeah, they still got
Dylan Cease.
the guy in he plays outfield. He was
Jackson
a rookie
Merrill.
last year. He's
Jackson
very
Merrill
good.
is a dog.
So the Padres are a very, very good team. So this will be a
team now,
cool, good test for us. But I like my money on Chris Sale.
They don't always start. The guys that start, though, it's an honor to start.
Oh, yeah, it is a huge deal.
So it's not always your best pitcher. I mean, the guy got, literally, he got the Cy Young. They're going to let him go out and start the season.
And then you have the White Sox starting Sean Burke, whoever the fuck that is.
But no, I think the Braves Padres, I'm excited. I know Braves fans are excited. Acuna's on the right track to come back. Strider's on the right track to come back. We've still got.
So when is he expected to be back?
I think a couple months. They're not gonna. I don't think we need to throw him out there right now.
Nah.
I mean, if we can stay healthy with the guys that we have, I think we're sitting really, really good in a pretty good division where we're gonna have to keep up and win some games. And these early games are important to generate a lead by the time all these teams catch up to speed.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to this though. It's fun. I love watching Braves. I love watching Austin Riley, Ozzie, Matt Olson, Michael Harris,
Sean Murphy.
He's actually hurt. He's not.
Oh, he's hurt?
Yeah,
Damn.
he was the one Brave that he got hit with a fastball and fractured one of his ribs in spring training. So he's not on the team to start.
That
but
continues to be one of the worst things in baseball when one of your players gets hit. Because
especially in spring training.
It's getting thrown 90 miles an hour, 90 plus. So it's like they broke something or they're going to be out for a little bit unless they're just tougher than nails. Like, it sucks.
This next one though, I think the best pitching duo across all the games.
Yeah.
Where 2 Cy Young guys, Blake Snell and
Tarek
Skubal, yes.
Yes.
They're facing off against. I think the Tigers were a huge surprise last year.
Yeah, and they'll be. I think they'll be a lot. Not a lot better, but they will be better than last year because they were very young last year. They brought up a couple of different guys, and they draft. I am blanking on his name, but they're about to call up a guy that they drafted last year, I believe, that is going to contribute immediately. And they still have what is his name? Max Clark.
Yeah,
are you familiar with him?
He's still in the.
He'll be coming up eventually too. So they've got a really young team, but they pulled the Dodgers' $2 billion Monstars lineup that is debuting on American soil for the first time this year. So Sorry,
Who
Detroit.
knows?
Sorry. I don't know.
I like the Tigers, though. I really do. I think, like you said, they
they're
have
in our
a good
division,
young
but-
team. But the Dodgers, you kind of drew a hard match.
The Dodgers might win 120 games this year. I'm serious about that. Like they have 2 starting lineups, both hitting and pitching. How do you beat that? They have a replacement for every single starter in their lineup that can contribute at least 75% of what they're getting from the starters. So it's like, oh, boom, Mookie Betts is sick, has been sick for 2 weeks. Okay, we'll just trot out the other guy we're paying $60 million over 80 years.
We still win.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Fuck the Dodgers. It's getting to that point where it's like kind of like how teams hated Alabama and that for like winning and always having the best players because everyone wants to go there. The Dodgers are headed
it sucks
for that
because
kind of
I
fame.
like a lot of the players on the Dodgers.
I do too.
I like Freddie Freeman.
Yes.
I like Mookie
Ohtani.
Betts. I like Ohtani.
I love Ohtani.
Although I still think he was a part of that whole betting thing that
there's
he
no
claimed
doubt
to not be.
Oh, he was.
Say what you want about that. I like a lot of the players on their team, but it does just kind of puts a sour taste in your mouth of,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're just paying millions of dollars to just
$2
kind
billion.
of build a super team.
Yeah.
So to wrap up this week, though, last little bit of NFL news.
This happened. So I literally yesterday called you and I was like, Dawson, not much happened this week. And so I was like, obviously, as we went into our MLB or March Madness, and then NFL decided to explode, and the Giants decided to giant all over themselves.
Yeah, this is pretty funny.
What the hell?
They still have the 3rd pick overall as well.
So they're going to take another quarterback.
Yep.
What the Giants on Friday signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year, $8 million deal on Friday. And the only thing that could have topped that is signing Russell Wilson yesterday to a 1-year deal worth up to $21 million. What are you doing? Like, why?
Literally,
how does this make sense?
In New York this morning, listening to the radio station with those guys, they're so pissed. They're like, we have 2 backup quarterbacks. If we don't draft a quarterback, I don't care who we draft a quarterback. They want a quarterback so bad.
I wonder if this was.
don't.
I guess their GM just needed some better sleep, man. Maybe Russell Wilson has given him that better sleep.
What do you think Russell Wilson's saying? G country,
Giants
let's ride.
Giants country.
Did you see? He tweeted something that he said, "I'm back." What does that mean?
I'm back.
Was he there or something? Like
I don't know.
There's some kind of connection to him. And
Well, he went to
Giants.
Wisconsin.
He got drafted by the Yankees.
Maybe that's
He
what
plays
it was. Something about New York.
He used to do spring training with the Yankees as well for a little bit, a couple of years while he was in Seattle.
I don't, because I know he went to college in Wisconsin. It's not like he went to college somewhere in New York.
Yeah,
he got drafted to Seattle. That's where he put.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that connection could be.
All I know is this makes 0 sense, and it kind of opens the door for them to fool themselves into thinking Travis Hunter is the pick at 3, which Dawson would be very pissed about. Very, very pissed about.
Well, I'd say
I think that's where we're headed,
if
Dawson.
Travis Hunter goes 3, I think Abdul Carter will be there at 4.
Oh, hey.
Maybe, or he goes to the Browns at 2. And then you're
No,
trading
Browns
back.
are 100% taking a quarterback.
And then you're trading back with us.
No way the Browns don't take a quarterback.
I don't know.
No
Kirk
way.
Cousins is still out there. I'm just saying that would be a Browns move.
That'd be the old Browns fans would be livid if they went from Deshaun Watson, that whole thing, to then taking on Kirk Cousins' contract. that'd be fun.
But the next one, this happened
really late last night.
And Dawson, I know you're happy about this. Let's go ahead and get Dawson's perspective on this.
So I am happy about this.
Stephon Diggs.
This is the first time I think we have had a true number 1 receiver in a long time.
Yep.
Now my just the way my brain works.
Yeah.
Coming off an ACL injury. By the time the season starts, it's not even going to be a full year off the ACL injury.
And it's $26 million guaranteed.
Yeah, and I know.
It's not that terrible.
I know, these guys come back very close to the same before, some of these injuries. It does scare me a little bit though, because you know, there were guys out there like a DK Metcalf that wasn't hurt. That like to get
Devontae Adams.
And
then you get reports coming out that apparently like the Patriots were trying to avoid the whole diva wide receiver one, and then you go and get the diva. The diva.
Yeah. And you know, I
don't know.
I don't know. I want to see it. To me, though, what would really feed families
it's Travis Hunter
and
Stephon
Diggs.
And then Christian Gonzalez and Travis Hunter.
And then, you know, we did sign Carlton Davis. Yeah. We signed some guys on the D-line. We fixed our linebackers.
Are the Pats back?
I'm not going to say that far. But all I'm going to say is Travis Hunter, Stephon Diggs, maybe another running back.
We might be
like
cooking.
An Ollie Gordon. Got Drake May. Maybe another tight end. Mike Vrabel might be tossing some good stuff in the frying pan right now. But we'll see. I'm not going to get my hopes up.
That Patriots way, the Patriot way.
I'm not going to get my hopes up, but it was cool to see that we have a number one receiver for 3 years. And I think Stephon Diggs is good. He wasn't amazing on the Texans, but he had a lot of competition in that offense to where now the Patriots, I mean, I don't have to tell anyone, there's not a lot of competition.
I said this to you last night. I'm excited to see and interested to see what this does for Jalen Polk.
Yeah.
Because I think he's still a good receiver. You took him in the second round.
Yeah,
so
it's like, very early
he did jack shit last year. Not that he had many opportunities.
We still have Javonte Baker as well, and
Javon Baker, Pop Douglas.
Yeah, so I mean,
still got Kendrick Bourne.
We've got some cool little pieces to where I think if we could figure out, and you know, our offensive coordinator McDaniels now, you saw what he could do with Phillip Dorsett, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola. So now I think you have some talented guys to create an identity on offense that we've been missing since Tom left. We've had absolutely no identity on offense.
That's true.
And so I think for the first time, we're going to see at least something of, okay, I see what you're trying to do with this group of receivers, running backs, you know, tight ends, talent-wise.
I see the vision. I do. And I don't know how many draft picks they have in total, but I know they've got upwards of 8.
Got a first round. I know we have I think a second round. I think it's like 38.
It's pretty high.
We've got a couple later ones. Yeah. So look, I'm optimistic. I seriously think, you know, we have placed the foundation to start to create, you know, what the Patriots organization was known for.
The Patriot way.
And I'm excited, but I'm also not too excited the same way like I know you kind of get with the Bears, to where
this is Dawson's version of saying the Pats are back. He'll never actually say the Pats are back, but the Pats are back.
I won't say the Pats are back until we're holding up another trophy, to be honest with you.
No, that's too late. You have to call your shot. You can't call game after you made it. Like that's lame as fuck. After you shoot. Getting ready to shoot. You know, lacrosse, line up from the 2-point line, game. And then you sink it.
I hear you. I really do. I don't want to set myself up for just
like what I do every year.
Like what you do every year.
I don't think up for failure.
I don't think I could, because let me tell you.
The Bears.
Let me tell you. The last 2 or 3 years of Patriots football, it's been awesome. But I haven't, I've had no expectations, so there's nothing to get mad about. I just get to watch football on the weekend and bet on football and watch my fantasy football teams. There's nothing to get mad about.
It's okay. It's coming.
And as soon as we get good again, it's like, fuck, then that's stuff to get mad about.
You're headed towards that. You've had your resting period, all right? You've had your resting period.
Oh, man.
And it's on the come up. It's coming. Your quarterback is here.
I liked it.
It must be nice. His resting period's like 4 years for the Patriots. For the Bears and for the Dolphins, it's like 40 years.
40.
Yeah.
Literally
40 years for
haven't touched the playoffs, haven't touched a
for the
division. It's sad.
Last little bit of
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. We talked about
He's down to his
last
team.
2 episodes.
There's
nowhere else to go.
It is literally
the Steelers.
Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh.
And even his visit with the Steelers, it was
6
we'll be in
hours.
contact. Like how is there not a decision made?
He met with them for 6 hours on Friday. He was there for 6 hours with Tomlin, their GM, and the owner.
Are Steelers fans
doesn't
still
have
pretty
a
pissed
deal.
about this? Like, the Steelers fans, they want anybody.
I
right?
would be so pissed if I was a Steelers.
If I was a Steelers fan, I would want a rookie. That's what
I think they'll have a rookie. And I think it's going to be Milroe. I think maybe because I don't see them taking a quarterback in the first round. They're picking like 20th.
Milroe's a worse Justin Fields. I would rather have Justin Fields over Milroe.
I mean,
I
Anthony
think Jackson
Richardson
Dart would be a good one.
Anthony Richardson went 5th. So it's
that's fair. I take Justin
I
Fields
love
over
Jackson
Richardson.
Dart's going in the first round, I think.
I think Dart would be a cool, sneaky fit for the Steelers.
I think so. I mean, there's a lot. Quarterback is not the hot commodity this year in the draft, but there are still a few guys. I'm a huge fan of Ward. I like Shedeur Sanders a lot. I like Dart. But outside of those three, like then you start getting into the kind of fooling yourself into talking yourself into thinking, hey, this guy's got all the right stuff. He just needs to be coached.
Yeah.
We've got the coaches. We can do this. And then, you get a Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Which team is going to tank to get Manning?
The Giants.
That's the question.
No, it's going to be the Colts.
The Cowboys.
Colts would be hilarious.
The Colts. That's what AJ wants.
Yeah.
AJ,
that would be fun.
AJ is a big advocate because
the universe has a good way of doing things like that.
The second coming of Manning, literally.
That'd be funny. To touch back though, Russell Wilson was a Yankee in 2018.
Yeah.
So that is his tie to.
That's why he said
he went back for a few years.
Why that is his tie to New York.
Yes.
I knew he played baseball. I knew he played baseball at Wisconsin. He played football and baseball.
He got drafted.
Got drafted there. So that is the tie. He was a Yankee.
Yes.
So cool. Good for him.
I'm back. Cool.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. The last little bit of remaining big free agents. Not too many, but you still have Cooper out there. You still have Asante Samuel Jr. out there. You still have
one's
Justin
surprising
Simmons.
to me. I don't know how. Asante Samuel had a decent year last year.
He's a great gadget guy as well.
Yeah. Well, so it's like he plays all over the field. Like it's so you can put him in the nickel. You can play him outside. And he had a few interceptions last year, but Harbaugh really used because they had, I don't remember their other corners' names, but he's like 25. He's 25. So it's like, you can't tell me that like a team like the Raiders haven't gone after him or like the Panthers need another corner. I don't know. And then Justin Simmons still being a free agent. That's kind of surprising. J.K. Dobbins too. He had a pretty
good year last year. He's been riddled with injuries, but last year I think he
got hurt for a little bit last year as well. Yeah. Like he was out for a few weeks, but when he was on the field, he was averaging 5 yards a carry.
Oh yeah. Scoring a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah. And then someone who's now more than a year removed from the brutal injury he suffered, Nick Chubb is still a free agent. Don't know who the hell is going to sign him.
49ers.
That could be interesting. Maybe. I mean, I could see it, but I just think like there's a reason all of these, like it's a theme here because you look at the players that are free agents still, their age, and then the kind of the top positions that are available in the draft kind of align with this. Safety's deep, running back is deep, pass rusher's deep, receiver's deep.
Yeah, these guys won't get signed until I think after the draft. And
it's going to be for the veteran minimum.
Yeah.
To be like a locker room presence, rotational.
Or a leader towards
third down
one
guy.
of these rookies or yeah.
And so it's free agency kind of went by quick this year, I feel like. Most of the top guys were gone and signed within a week. Yeah. And then some took like a week and a half. After that, that was it. Yeah. Like there were a lot of, pretty big names out there too, but it wrapped up fast this year. Sometimes it goes on for months.
The rest of these guys, they'll get signed after, but a lot of these teams are going to wait who they can get in the draft.
Maybe Amari Cooper goes back to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But it's like, again, like we just keep saying, this draft is deep as hell. Yeah. So it's like, why would you sign a 30-year-old?
For probably more money than you want to give them when you can get a guy.
And he's only locked in for 1 year.
22 years old.
For 4 years.
On a rookie deal for 4 years. Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Those guys are going to have to wait a little bit. Just a little bit
They'll
longer.
get signed. They'll be on a team, 100%. But the draft will be the
some of them. I'm surprised at Nick Chubb. Like obviously, Nick Chubb.
The Nick Chubb one to me, even the Von Miller one to me.
Maybe the Bengals signed Nick Chubb.
Von Miller and Nick Chubb are the two that I look on this list and I go.
I think Von Miller goes back to Denver.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Denver's looking really good
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
They're building a pretty good team over there.
Dancing with the Stars.
What did you just say?
Dancing with the
He can go back to
Stars.
Dancing with the Stars.
He could win at this
Pretty
time.
well on that.
Did he didn't win it when he
Did he win?
Did he
I
win?
feel like he finished
I don't
like
know if he
second or
won it or
third,
not.
but
Well, that will wrap up episode 33. Again, spring training. Let us know your I wouldn't say biggest surprises, but team that might come out and surprise some people
the
same way
Dodgers?
beat the Dodgers.
anybody?
Yeah,
Bueller?
if you're going to any spring training games, I know that's always the tickets here.
That opening day will be so not opening day or the home opener, but we will be in a few weeks at the Braves-Phillies game, which, I mean, one of the better rivalries in baseball. That'll be great.
The home opener here, though, I think, this weekend or something?
It's next week.
It's dumb expensive. So that was, that was, but
and they're
I'm
playing
sure.
the Marlins, too. It's not like it's...
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the Braves, they
got a really big fan
People
base.
live for that. Especially, I mean, we're 20 minutes from the stadium.
Yeah.
So
It's like the Chicago
It's a
with
very
Bears.
popular thing to do around here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was out of the question. But yes, let us know your favorite team.
Yes.
Let us know.
Hopefully it's not the White Sox.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think.
I might be the only one left.
Yeah, you
I am
might.
serious. Who else in their right mind has the balls to wear a White Sox jersey? This is the last good guy on the team. We've traded everyone else. I have nothing left but this. This is all I have. That and 40 wins a year.
Hey, but you have the Bears though.
Dylan, you need to be a Braves fan. Come on.
I am a Braves fan. They're in the other, Braves are National League, so I can root for them happily until they eventually play the White Sox in the World Series.
Oh, that'll never happen. So you know.
That trophy right there, Chris, this right here is proof that it has happened before. And you want to know the funny thing about this 2005 World Series? The White Sox have been around since the 1920s, right? They've never won a playoff series outside of 2005. They won it all 3 playoff series.
I didn't know that.
That year. That's it. That's it. That's all we have.
That's actually really impressive.
I swear to God that's true. I wish it wasn't.
That's
but this
impressive.
is all I have. This is my White Sox memorabilia. That and the Frank Thomas card, who I was too young to remember.
That's impressive.
It's
that's
not. It's really
it's harder to do that than it is to win
be good?
or more series than that.
It's pretty bad.
That's impressive.
It's
That's
pathetic.
impressive.
It's
You learn something new every day in the sports world.
yeah.
But yeah, no. Let us know your favorite one of these Sweet 16 games. Who you think's gonna take it? Like we kind of said, these seeds don't matter. I just really hope for some good games.
There will be. There will be some great games.
And we're gonna keep on saying it till it finally happens. But where does Aaron Rodgers go?
That
Let us
college
know.
football needs a salary cap. We'll keep harping on that.
If you think
Contracts in college football need to be a thing.
I still think if you don't think the NIL has affected college sports and you are still just calling them, no, they're kids. Let them be kids.
Let's just
let them
reflect
just play.
a little bit on how much we got drugged through the mud for saying that college needs contracts.
It's a prime example of why it does.
It does.
I'm sorry.
You need something telling you, hey, you can't transfer until this time period is up. Or you've played this amount of games. Or you got hurt. It's
The same way there is in every other aspect of life.
Yeah.
You sign a contract, you agree to terms on something, regardless. If you go to a freaking Six Flags, you're signing, when you walk into that Six Flags, you are agreeing to their terms, to where if you do something that violates their terms, they can kick you out.
bye-bye.
It's
they
like
can do
that with
but
anything.
It's like
But I'm not saying they can kick you out, but
you can remove yourself.
they can.
you sign terms to an agreement, and there's the same way professional athletes do.
Yep.
The same way, the guys get suspended. It needs to be the same
contracts are
thing.
a couple years away.
Something.
I
It's
think
going to
something.
happen. It has to happen. With this much money,
does.
there has to be contracts.
It would be easier than going in and changing the entire legislation, which is what would need to happen if they want to change it at all. But it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's going to keep coming out. There's going to be more and more news about players and transfer portals. And soon we're going to have there's going to be a dedicated network to the transfer portal in a few years where it's just all day, kind of like NFL Red Zone, but it's, the transfer portal.
Like a stock market.
Transfer weekend.
It's going to be like
ticker.
the stock.
You can
stupid.
bet
They're
on
gonna be the
where the
portal
players
ticker.
are going to
Yeah.
transfer to.
Yeah. I'm surprised you already can't
Hey,
do
we
that.
need to look up that website. Maybe we need to get the portal ticker.
Buy that domain.
Yeah, we could start it. Make it.
Let's corner the
make it
market.
Yeah. But yeah, no, let us know your favorite team, who you're rooting for if you don't have a dog in the fight.
Yep.
And yeah, enjoy the games. Enjoy
Leave a like on
whoever
the video.
favorite baseball team you are. Leave a like on the video. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, sir. It's been real, guys.